Hello, everybody. Well, welcome to the Pop Spot, where we pop about all the spots that we love in professional wrestling. I am your host, Andre C. Joining me right over here, as always, is my boy AWS. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Andre. I've had a good couple of days started the week so far. Can't complain. Like I said, the last show, the weekend was crazy. Very happy with how things went. Uh, yeah, no, I've been having a good week. How are you doing, my friend?
I was a little sick after the show. The day after the show, I was a little bit sick. On the 2 days, I was sick on the. It was a little bit sick on the last episode. Wasn't feeling great. Let's say when we recorded the last episode, when we talked Black Hole Pro, but I'm feeling a lot better now. Just tired from a long because I work 5 days one or 4.5 days one week, 5.5 days the other, and this is my week off. I had Monday off, so I got back to work today a little tired. Long day, but a good day. So
Yeah, good,
yeah.
good.
Yeah, so we did see some professional wrestling, and as this show it does come out on this episode coming out on Thursday, we are recording it on Tuesday night. But we watched a couple of wrestling shows. Went to Black Hole Pro on the Friday, which you can check out that episode right here on Backbreaker Media. And hopefully you're watching on the playlist. So you can go back to the playlist and check that one out. And then we have this one coming up for RCW Summer Heat, which we got to attend on Saturday night with our boy Eric. He was there with us and sitting with us. It was a good little night. Yeah, only three of us representing the Horde that evening.
Yeah, Andreas couldn't make it. He had a family engagement, but honestly, I'm gonna pick my words carefully here. I tend to prefer the shows that have less of the Horde because I feel like I can pay attention to the wrestling more. Not saying I don't like hanging out with the Horde.
Yeah,
when there's a lot of us, I find myself paying more attention to what they're saying than I am to the wrestling.
yeah, I can admit, I could see that because again, when you got like a group of like 10 of us there, we're all kind of conversating, even while the shows are going on. We're having fun, everything with each other. We're giving each other our commentary. So you miss me. So I get what you mean. Like I love being there with the Horror, but I like being able to kind of little focus a little more and see. Yeah, I get what you mean. But
yeah, and
I miss the Horde. I miss the Horde though.
I do miss the Horde. We love you, Horde. There was a lot of good wrestling on this show, though. I'm very happy to tear into it.
Yeah, this was a solid show. So let's get into it. Oh, I forgot to put the graphic in for this one. And and I'm going to make that a little smaller, so we're not a tiny little peep on the side of the screen. It was RCW Summer Heat from Saturday, July 21st, back at the Norwood Legion, back at their home. Actually, as we're recording this, or as we record this, but as it released this tomorrow, as it releases the day before, they're doing a show at Snow Valley.
It's Snow Valley. They're doing that Havoc on the Hill show with a lot of crazy stuff announced for that show. Like when I saw that Nate and Sean Martins are wrestling and the loser shaves the mustache, I'm like, come on. You can't let either of them shave it. They're like naked.
Well, if one of them's going to shave it, it better be Sean. But
yeah, because Nate's mustache is too glorious for this world.
He's got the curls. You can't.
The curls are perfect.
You can't do that. But yeah. So yeah, that's happening this Wednesday. Yeah, I just realized that. Yeah, lots of wrestling right now, and then we got more wrestling on the Friday, and then there's more wrestling the weekend after. It's just a busy time in Alberta independent wrestling.
Yeah, we're in the wrestling hot season for Alberta Indies wrestling right now. So I'm very excited because we've just debuted this show, and now we can talk about the stuff we go to see.
Yeah, and so Summer Heat really was heating up the professional wrestling scene these last little bit. RCW really heating it up and keeping it good. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk some of the matches. We have a match. It is Kreiger. And I don't know, Kreiger.
It's
Kreiger.
weird because I say Kreiger, the announcer says Kreiger.
This is my
You know,
this is my Jinha problem. It's Kreiger. Kreiger. Kreiger.
Kreiger.
Kreiger.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kreiger for now until if the man himself corrects me. But we're gonna go with Kreiger.
Kreiger. Like a tiger. But he's a Kreiger.
He's a Kreiger. I like it. Taking on, of course, the ultra-violent man himself, Mitch Clarke.
Yeah, Mitch, my boy, I can never not enjoying watch this man wrestle because I've watched this guy since his UFC days. I'm a huge fan of one Mitch Clarke because again, I was a fan of him when he used to punch people in the face and now I'm a fan of him watching him hit Ludwig Van Drivers. So.
Yeah, going into this card, like they announced about 5 or 6 of the matches on the card. There's like 8 of them. Spoilers. This is easily the match I was the most excited about.
Yeah, like of the pre-announced matches. Again, there was another one later on in the show that I was quite excited to see, or that I was excited that was announced, Thias' match. But yeah, I was really excited because again, any show Mitch Clarke's on, I want to see because it's Mitch Clarke and I'm a big fan. So I was gonna get into it. Kreiger's out with his boys. Got Jinha and Son of Irish with him, and they decided to kind of interfere really early in the match. And the referee is having none of it, and he kicks them out and he boots them to the back, which I am very okay with.
Yeah, ref says, get the heck out of there. And I loved them coming out just like enjoying themselves. Like this is real gang hours. Like, God, it felt so good. I miss factions in indie wrestling because, again, probably in Love, there's a few, but like in like RCW and Top and all the ones that like I go to, there's never really any like big factions. It's usually at most tag teams.
Yeah, like and I'll say this, in outside of Old School Violence, there really isn't because Old School Violence has the Steves and that old guy Tyrone. But like like you had the Manson family, but was a tag team with Moondog and Jinha, but he's now gone from them with Dolly as their manager. So again, it's still not a faction; it was a tag team, but it's just now. Yeah, I get what you mean. But yeah, so the faction gets kicked away from ringside. I was gonna give over a couple highlights. We're gonna each give a couple highlights of this match. Beautiful gut wrench powerbomb by Mitch Clarke here. I love it. It's just utter perfection with that. Mitch with Kreiger kicking the rope into Mitch's crotch at one point, and he ends up hitting a very nice dragon screw in the ropes, and really works over that knee throughout the match.
Yeah, the story of Kreiger working the leg the whole match, very, very concise. And I talked about this in our first episode. I love simple stories like this. Work the leg is just a good story, and it's like something you can easily latch on to as a wrestling fan. It's just perfect. And like you said, that dragon screw looked brutal. It was great. I was going to talk about the gut wrench. The gut wrench was very good. What else do I have here? I'm more just gushing about how great these guys' chemistry are, especially considering Kreiger. He's still fairly fresh to the scene. He's only been in the scene for a few months at this point. He's working really well with the people here, and yeah, no, he's quickly becoming one of my favorites. The more I see him wrestle.
Yeah, oh, dude, that exploder Mitch hit, like sending Kreiger across the ring. Oh my god.
Oh yes.
Yeah. But yeah, and then dude, again, all the Kreiger's moveset in this whole thing was absolutely phenomenal. And like he's a couple times where he's just almost like booting Mitch's face off just with the running boots and stuff.
Yeah.
And the power this man has. Like, I know we made the joke early on of Timu Diesel, but he's got that power, man. He's got that power.
He's got the power of Diesel, and he's got more powerful quads than Diesel, so we'll give him that.
Obviously, because when he runs, he doesn't tear them.
Yeah, good for you, Kreiger. You did something. You didn't tear your quads on a walk.
So, yeah, at the end of this match, Mitch Clarke fights off the power bomb, and he catches Kreiger, comes running at him, leaping at him. He catches him on his shoulders and hits him with the Ludwig von Driver, or the
beautiful LVD,
or the
Spindly Bindley
for the win. And Mitch Clarke is your winner.
We do love that. We love
Ultra
Mitch
Bounce,
Clarke
baby.
getting all of his stuff in. Spindly Bindley, always great to see. Yeah, it looks like they're definitely building Mitch to sort of like have a good couple months during the summer of him just tearing down the Celtic Union to get the Son of Irish for his North American title for his rematch.
Well, again, he can cash that in at any time, right? It's like a Money in the Bank style cash in. So I always got to watch his back. Surprised we didn't get a tease about that tonight, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll get it at some point, but like knowing Mitch is a tactician. He's a smart man. He doesn't want to do it while he's got his boys with him.
Yeah, and again, he's gonna pick a spot and really screw Soy Boy over. Bam.
Yeah, he'll screw him to the wall one day.
So we move on to a tag team match. It's for the RCW Tag Team Championships. It's the Steves, Old School Violence, Steve Wild, Steve Styles taking on Moondog Manson and Moses Luke. This was the weirdest tag team. Yeah, you got the shirt on, pinkies up for Moses Luke.
DJ, all day, baby.
Moondog trying to do getting the pinky up and the fist bump with the pinky up, but Moses is like, no. This match was fine.
Again, this is something we talked about at the last RCW Pop Spot. I have issues with the Steves. We both have issues with the Steves in terms of watching their matches. They're both perfectly serviceable wrestlers.
Oh no! One of them is
perfect,
and the other one is Steven Styles, but it's not bad. Just again, they're fine.
They're
don't
fine.
Enjoy watching. I'm not a big fan. I get when Steve Wild. I've seen the dude have really great matches at other times. It's just when they're together, there's a formula to Old School Violence that I personally. They beat down a guy for a while, then there's a hot tag, and then that guy gets beat down for a while. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what it was. Like for me, this match was entertaining because of one person. And that was two people. Moses Luke in his commentary on the apron, and Moondog Manson for just some of the overselling he was doing in like how he would get hit and he would just yell random things and just like yelp sometimes. Like the way he was like overselling certain things. Like, so they were entertaining as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I love these. I loved Moses Luke on the apron. He had just like he had apron commentary and it was phenomenal. Just kept cracking jokes. I can't even remember any of them at this point, but I was just laughing every time he said something. It was so good.
I remember I wrote down specifically one part where Moses went into the ring, and it's the bit where he's going in to distract the ref while the heels beat down Moondog, and he's just like, okay, ref, listen, this is the part where I talk to you for about 5 minutes and I just distract you because my guy is getting beaten in the back, and this is just all I have to do. Okay, I'm done now, go back out.
And then when he's like, I did my part, and then you yelled, I did my part, and then I yelled, I didn't do fucking shit.
And he just put his face in the cornering corpse. I was so happy about that.
Because I was just like, when he said it, and then you followed, I'm like, oh, it's the meme, and I didn't do nothing shit.
Yeah, no, but you're absolutely right. Mo with his awesome commentary on the apron, and Moondog taking everything the Steves was throwing at him. It actually worked really well. And like, again, it's the same minutia as every Old School Violence match when they're teaming together. It's, beat someone up, there's a distraction, someone calls someone fat, Steve gets out his little like dildo thing, his little stick.
I'll give him it's a wrench.
It's a wrench? Okay, so it's like a socket wrench. He gets out his little socket wrench and just bops him in the neck. Like, again, fundamentally, nothing is wrong on Steve Wild's part. It's just boring.
I've watched it so much lately, and I'm just like, I'm good. But yeah, like There was a few months ago. He was in. I think he was in a singles match with somebody. I can't remember who it was, but he kept pulling the wrench out, hitting them, and putting it away. But the crowd was getting so into it because the guy it was a match slaps because he kept moving where the wrench was. It was in his wrist thing. It was his knee pad. It was in his boot. And Matt kept checking the wrong place. That was so entertaining. It's just this one. I was just like, again, nothing bad. It just didn't have a good time. But in the end, they did the whole thing where Moses gets the hot tag, comes in, starts running wild, and Moondog tags himself back in, even though he's still kind of hurt, and Moses gets not taken out of the ring, and they take out
Moondog pretty easily
Moondog,
after that.
And Steve Wild gets the pin. Yeah, and then after the match, Steven Styles says happy birthday to Steve Wild. It's his, according to Steve Styles, 60th birthday for one Steve Wild. So I don't know if that was a joke, if he was ribbing him for the age, but if he's 60, actually he's doing pretty good for 60. If he's 60.
Yeah, he's actually doing pretty well if he actually is.
I don't know if the man is actually 60, but
I'm inclined to believe that it was actually his birthday, so fair enough. Happy birthday, Steve.
Yeah, Wild. I just don't know if he was messing with the.
Yeah, was it a rib? Was it real? Who knows? That was fine. It was way better than the first time we reviewed.
Well, it says he began wrestling in 1986, so I could believe he's 60. Yeah,
1986. The man has nearly been wrestling for 40 years.
Yep.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm gonna bring my notes back up because I need my notes on my phone for
I feel that
the show. So let's move on. We move on from this one to a singles match between Sid Creed and Jinha. And this was specifically said a non-title match. Jinha wants a shot at the title, but Sid says he has to earn it.
With a non-title match for the hardcore title.
Well, it's a non-title match, so Jinha can earn his way at a hardcore title match,
which is understandable. I'll give him that.
But these two had a solid match, man. There's just trading just hard chops, hard slaps.
Mm-hmm.
There's a beautiful cactus clothesline over the top, the cactus kind of stuff. Yeah, where he just crumples him and takes them both over the top. I thought somebody was getting hurt. Jinha on the apron. When he's on the second rope and Sid's on the apron, he jumps off the second rope and just mushroom stomps him through his chest right into the apron. Looks so rough.
Oh my God, Sid, you're insane.
Both these guys are insane.
It looked so brutal and it was so awesome. It woke the crowd up because unfortunately the crowd had kind of gone to bed. No offense with the last match. Mo did help some of us. But yeah, no, that spot specifically, the double stomp on the apron, woke the crowd back up. That and the other thing I wrote, which was one of my favorite things in wrestling, the breaking the finger spot.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna date myself a little bit, and I will preface this by saying I'm not a fan of them anymore. Back when I was a young lad becoming a wrestling fan of the international variety, I was a huge fan of Marty Scurll. And he was like the first person I had seen that did this finger breaking thing. I'm not a fan of him anymore for more or less obvious reasons. But I still love the finger break spot. And if you do the finger break spot as a wrestler, you're pretty high in my books.
Yeah, beautiful. There's also a beautiful PK into a standing moonsault by Jinha for 2. Looked so good.
God, he's so good.
Yeah. Sid ends up sending Jinha to the floor at one point. Hits this just reckless, crazy suicide dive. Oh my God! Every time Sid dives, he looks like he's gonna kill himself.
He fires off like a bullet. He throws himself like a cannonball at his opponent, and he doesn't really care where he lands because he's had some rough landings. This landing was actually not that bad. Like at least
Jinha comparatively, it wasn't that bad at all.
Yeah, but that's what I kind of love about Sid is he's just so reckless that he puts himself on the line every time he goes out, no matter how big or small the crowd is. And I kind of like that level of crazy. Like, good for
Yeah.
you, Sid.
Yeah. And then the end of this, Sid goes to the top. He dives just dives off the top, and Ginha hits this spinha. Ginha hits the spinha, as I like to call, as I'm calling it now. It's called the
Yes.
spinha. He hits a spinning back kick right to like the spleen. Like I know the liver's on the right side. It was on the left side of
that would be like the
like
spleenish
I think
area.
whatever, or the bladder, maybe, whatever it was, and Sid just crumpled, and Jinha got the pin, and Sid actually rolled out, and I found out that he threw up after, but just with the roughness of the kick, it just messed up his inside. It made him want to hurl, or made him want to hurl. I don't know if he did, but it made him want to hurl. I heard. So.
That's the power of British strong style.
Yeah, that's spinha from Jinha for the win.
Yeah, that's honestly great save. We're calling it the spinha now.
Yeah, if he keeps hitting people with that spinning back kick, I'm gonna keep calling it the spinha. It's now the spinha.
Good. This match was this match was so good. I was very happy with like everything that happened during it.
Me too.
Yeah, no, very, very good match. A return to form for the show.
Yeah. So we move on to what was supposed to be a singles match between Scotty Ace and Dean Richter, turned into a three-way with the person we saw on Friday at Black Hole Wrestling, El Electrico versus Scotty Ace versus Dean Richter.
Yes. All three of these guys, 2 out of the 3 of these guys, 2.5, I'm going to give it, because we went to Black Hole on Friday. We both love El Electrico now. Dean Richter, always fun to see. We
fist,
love
baby.
Time to fist. Scotty Ace, it's his 3rd match, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if he's wrestled since, but it's his only 2nd time here in Edmonton. And I enjoyed him in his first match, and I think we got to see a lot more from him in this one, comparatively.
Yeah, he definitely did a lot more than the last match he wrestled at RCW. He seems to have been improving. Clearly, like he's from what I understand, he is still doing stuff with MRB at the clandestine school.
He is still a train. Again, a lot like I know a lot of wrestlers that just go and work out at clandestine. Like I know some wrestlers just work out there to kind of keep their skills up. So
Fair.
yeah, but they also do he is one of their trainees. So yeah,
I know that Scotty is wrestling at the clandestine, like the LPW Prologue event on Thursday. I know he's wrestling that.
I know Chad is. He's working both.
Chad's working LPW 38. But yeah, no. Whether or not this is his 3rd match, he's did a whole lot better than he did last time. So
again, last time he was fine. It's just it was a very different match. It's a very different situation. Where here he got to kind of show up. So Dean Richter gets both men in the corner at one point. Hits a double haluva fist kick.
Yeah,
so good. So good.
We love the hell of a fist kick.
The haluva fist kick.
Yes, very good.
The other one that came right after, he actually hung Electrico upside down in the corner and hit hesitation drop kick to an upside down Electrico in the corner. I loved it.
Dean has such a good hesitation drop kick. I'm very happy. So the first thing I noticed really in this match, and it became a theme on the show, holy absolutely shit, the chops. The chops in this match, and like the last match with Jinha, they had a few loud chops in there as well, but nothing really noteworthy. They went nuts with the chops this match, I think.
They did. Electrical really likes chops, so does Dean, and Scotty Ace seems to really like them too. So, yeah. So we got a follow up to that surfboard spot we saw at the Black Hole show.
Yeah.
So, Electrico gets Scotty Ace in the surfboard, and Dean comes running by and just boots Scotty Ace in the face while he's in the surfboard. looked very good.
It looked
Um,
great.
yeah. And there's another cool triple spot where Dean's trying to hit a German, but they get pulled into the ropes. Electrico comes over. He's trying to German Scotty. They get pulled into the rope. Electrico comes over the top rope. Sunset flip to Dean Richter, and
Mhm.
Dean just Germans Scotty Ace across the ring, just looking
Yeah.
insane, man.
He literally threw him from like corner, basically almost corner to corner, which, yeah, that looked crazy. Somehow not the craziest throwing spot tonight on the night, but God, it looked good. Good for these guys.
So the end comes. Scotty Ace has crossface on Electrico, but Dean breaks it up. He gets him up for the seismic fish driver, and Electrico gets up, and he just, while holding Scotty Ace on his shoulders, just boots Electrico in the face, sending him down and him out actually the ring, and then hits Ace with the seismic fish driver, and Dean Richter gets the win.
And that is real talk.
Yeah, really good. I thought really good three-way match here.
Yeah, no, that was a very strong contest. Everyone looked good at one point. Always great to see Dean. Very happy with Dean and what he has done lately. His whole blood feud with JJ has been really good. I would love to see them run that back at some point.
We even chanted at Dean as he was leaving, like, we want JJ. And he just like, he's never coming back. And we're like, no, he'll be back.
Yeah, you won't see him for a long time. Sure, see you next week.
Like, no, we both went, yeah, he'll be back sooner. He'll be back soon enough.
Yeah,
like, I have no actual knowledge, if you will, but I believe in JJ. I believe in him rising up and coming back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so. For sure. Yeah, that three-way was very good. Very, very good. Very happy.
We move on to a singles contest between Harlan Abbott and Chad Money Mills. Last time we saw Money Mills a couple weeks ago, he was good. Yeah, here he decided to really put his frat boy hat on here and act a little frat boy douche here. And we even brought the solo cups. We lifted our solo cups for him, and he just kind of gave us a sneer. But yeah, go ahead.
I would like to, if I may, be the first member, the founding member, if you will, with you, my friend, of the Money Pit, because I love Chad Mills.
Yeah, I think I came up with the Money Pit at the last show. We're gonna have some signs. We're planning, and the more Chad Mills matches we get to be at, the better, because we're gonna have some signs up. Sadly, I'm gonna miss him. Miss seeing him at the LPW show, as we are gonna be at the top show. Yeah. But
we're gonna really cheer for him at that anyway. He's wrestling rich.
Well, it could still. Yeah, you're right. I can't.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'd have to be like going I have to be pulling a Jason and yelling both these guys and stuff.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Anyway, he's wrestling.
Yeah, this match I was really into. Really liked it. Harlan and Harlan taking Chad to college by out wrestling him really early on in the match, just showed him all his skills, and it's like, you got nothing, kid. Yeah.
And then
I thought the taking him to college line was funny.
That was very funny. I kind of didn't sell it that well. That was very funny, my friend. And then Harlan turns on the Hazometer and starts drilling this guy in the chest with chop after chop after chop.
Yeah, as the night went on, the chops just kept getting harder and harder as the night went on. It was crazy.
I think this was the apex, honestly. Like,
there were some rough ones later on.
Yeah, like the main has some really bad ones, but I feel like that's assisted with the fact of the gimmick. Spoilers, we'll get there when we get there. This felt like these felt the hardest to me, in my opinion.
Yeah. Harlan using his healing powers to fight. Chad actually gets to fights back at one point. This is beautiful picture perfect suplex. Harlan does eventually use his healing powers to he heals himself up and fights back. Hits the insecurity. Hits that kip flip up. He does. Hits the X. Eventually gets the X-plex on him for 2. Chad fighting off the healing driver a couple of times in this match, or whatever. I don't know what he calls him. I'm just calling it the healing driver at this point. That's
Yeah,
that Jay Driller.
He gets out of the healing driver a lot, and he manages to work it into a couple of offensive maneuvers. I believe he hits like a sort of Rough Rider maneuver on him at one point.
Yeah, no, that was a little. I think it was a different spot, but I know he hit the healing. Gets out of the healing driver, gets him in the backdrop suplex. Then Harlan hit the F5. Then Chad gets out of another healing driver, and this is where he hits the Irish twist.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, I got it confused with the Irish twist. Yeah. So he hits him with the Irish twist, and then he goes up to the top rope. He looks down, bowling, and he completely misses.
Yeah, just dives up, superfly splashes off the top, and just crashes and burns. And Harlan picks him up. One more time, healing driver for the win.
Harlan picking up a actually well contested match for most of it. It actually was pretty close, and these guys worked really well together. Hoping we get to see it again sometime soon. Honestly, I know a lot of people have hangups about Harlan. For me, I like him. I don't want to see him wrestle like upwards of 30 minutes unless there's a pretty significant gimmick in the match.
I have no issues with watching Harlan Abbott wrestle. I think this man is like what Harlan Abbott can do in the ring, especially like what Harlan Abbott or whoever the heck he was before COVID, and his evolution throughout COVID with opening the school and just when I remember him coming back after COVID, like kind of wrestling coming back, and just him. He was already in good shape, but he got even better shape. He had stepped up his game, doing all just stepped his game up 100%, and just become an incredible force wrestler. It's just multiple wrestle Weston King, very similar matches multiple times. I got on board. And then there's sometimes where he's gone over the top, like the Joey Janela match, where they went way too long, and I was going like, please just end up. So yeah. But I love Harlan. I think he's an absolutely incredible professional wrestler. And Chad, I think, is very good. I know he's still young in his career, but he's very good, and he's going to be something special, I think.
Oh yeah, he's fucking great, and yeah, this was a phenomenal showcase match for Chad. Absolutely.
Yeah, so we went to intermission, then we came back, and it was Weston King with the hobbled up Gussie Jones, who has had his surgery on his leg, and he's on his way back to healing. I asked him through the show, and I asked him at some point in the show. And he said it was after the show, and he said he had his surgery on his foot, and he will be back to his managing prowess very soon enough. But he still got involved from his chair at ringside with his crutches.
He likes to get involved, but God, if he needed healing, you should have just asked Harlan. He was in the locker room. Come on, Gussie.
That's true. Weston really using his throwing his power around early, but Matthias then gets into just starts flipping around and just sending Weston around. Like he gets into started busting out some lucha style moves. Maybe he was getting some tips from Electrico. I don't know, but he started busting out some lucha.
Very, very sick.
Weston eventually catches Matthias in the corner. Like he lifts him up for that uranage, like Samoa Joe style uranage in the corner. But then he just walks out of the corner to the middle and then slams him down. I'm like, okay.
I love that the delayed uranage. There's a spot, I think it's like during the middle of the match where they're like running the ropes, and I believe it's a back body drop. Weston gets a back body drop on Matthias, and he nearly throws him out of the freaking ring.
Yep. I remember that. That was insane.
Yeah, they were on one side of the ring, and then he hits the back body drop, and he's like on that half of the ring, like in proportion into the middle, and he literally throws Matthias so far that his ankles are outside of the ropes.
Yeah, and then there's another fall-away slam spot where Matthias was running at him, and then he caught him, and then hit him with a fall slam. You didn't go as far on that one, but still a good toss on that one. Yeah.
God,
Matthias getting a beautiful elbow drop off the top to Weston King but only gets two. Yeah. He ends up slipping out of the full Nelson Slam, or as I'm calling it, the crowning achievement.
That's a good name.
And again, if you want to call it something else, King, let me know. I'll call it whatever you want me to call it. But he goes for crowning achievement, but Othai slips out, hits a code breaker for 2. He goes to the top for another elbow drop, but Gutsy distracts him, and then Weston King crotches him on top, and then he pulls him off, slamming him into the mat, then picks him up for the crowning achievement, and Weston King gets the win.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this match. I love both of these guys. It's no surprise. Weston was probably the guy I strapped my rocket to after I came back to indie wrestling last year. Just found myself really enjoying his character and his work.
You were the first guy to buy his t-shirt. Come on.
If he had the shirt there, I would have been so conflicted over whose shirt to wear, because like Weston is phenomenal. Othias is like also amazing. Like, I just love his character. He's got the lucha stuff. He's got the high flying and the technical prowess. I really enjoy both of these guys. The whole bulk of the body of both of these guys' work, and they put on a really, really good match. It's not my match of the night. It's my second best match of the night. But yeah, no, like I enjoyed one match on this card a little bit better than this. We'll get there.
Oh, okay. I thought it might have been one of the previous ones. But okay. We move on. It is for the RCW North American Championship. It is Son of Irish defending against the woman making her return to RCW in Edmonton. She worked top, but she hasn't been working RCW in Edmonton in a while. But she is back in Edmonton for RCW. It is Ava Lawless, and it was weird because I know my boy Eric is a big Ava Lawless fan. Yet I kept hearing him cheer for Soy.
It was super interesting.
He was wearing an Ava Lawless shirt,
and he was cheering for Settled Irish. He was cheering for the bastard. Oh God, no! This was a very good contest as well. Soy, I will never stop singing Soy's praises. I think he's really good. I hope he brings back the lucha stuff, because his lucha.
Yeah, he had a little thing out there. He's like, should I bring back the lucha stuff? And I'm like, I think so, but do I think he will? Probably not. Not yet.
Probably not as a heel, no. But like, yeah, no, he's got the high flying and the technical. He's like, if Othias is like an 8 in my eyes, Soy is like a 9. They're very close. It's very hard to make a choice on that one.
I'll put Soy up around like 13 out of 10, but
well, I'm trying. Okay, fair enough. And Ava, again, I haven't watched a lot of Ava's work. I've seen her a few times, like somewhere in the almost double digits.
At top, right? You've seen her
mostly at top. Yeah, and mostly like her wrestling like the special attraction women, like like that one time she wrestled Joey Janela. I don't often see her wrestling with the normal Edmonton indie crowd, the Alberta indie crowd.
Yeah, you just haven't had a chance to see her yet, because again, she's very good.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she got dominating early on in this match, so Soy decides to pull the hair and slam her to the mat. Eventually gets the 3 Irish friends.
We love the 3 Irish friends. I'm so glad that joke is still going.
It is for us. It is for us. I don't think it is for anyone else, but it is for us. Ava does shove Soy off the top when they're both up top. Hits a nice second rope cross body. Ava catches a kick, gets Soy on her back, hits that running backpack stunner.
Backpack stunner. That is why you fail.
Another Irish twist was attempted, but it was reversed into a twist of fate by Ava for 2. Yeah.
And then the big comeback. That was the Irish twist into twist of fate. That was a very good reversals spot. I was very happy with that.
the end of it. Oh, it's the end of it. Ava gets Soy up onto her shoulders. She's going for a move, but Soy gets off the shoulders, gets her in, hits the Irish twist, and he gets the win.
Another very good match. Another really high work rate, explosive offense. These two both really gave each other everything they could. They pushed each other to the limit, and yeah, it was great. Definitely one of the matches of all time on this card. Honestly, like I can't say anything bad about anything on this card in the second half.
Yeah. And yeah, after the match, Soy tries to attack her again, but she fights him off, hitting a nut and hits a stunner. And Soy sold, like, he bounced like the Rock does when the Rock bounced. He bounced
His
the Rock.
sell was so good.
So good.
Oh,
Yeah. So we move on. Main event of the show. It is a Bangkok Street Fight. It is Nast Nate Nixon, and it wasn't Kato.
thank God.
Oh, he'll be back. Don't worry. He'll be back.
I know. I'm dreading the moment.
But he was taking on regular Kato here in this match because he came out rocking it, and the announcer announced him as Kato. But I think because it was a Bangkok Street Fight, this was teacher versus pupil here.
Mm-hmm.
What this was, and back from the MPW days, and yeah, it was really cool to see. I got a couple notes on this.
I've got quite a few notes. The match opens up with Kato and Nate come out. They bring all their weapons out. Kato sets a table up and a couple of cups, and then they just have a little drink before the match. And the only thing I have about the note about this in my notes is that everyone is yelling at the ref that he can't pour a beer. Poor Stu. Like, Stu Earns. Come on.
And Stu's yelling, "I don't drink." And it's like, it doesn't matter. You've poured a pop before. Pop gets fizzy. You have to just pour it out slowly, or you get too much head. Come on, you know this.
The principle is very much similar. So they have their Corona, they have their drink, and then they get to fighting each other.
It was a Corona. Ugh.
It wasn't even a bottle. It was a can of Corona. Like, what are you doing?
So one of my favorite spots is really early where they what are they called? The ones Kato
The tonfas. Yeah, I have that.
Yes, the tonfas. And Nate has a kendo stick, and they start fighting with them, and they're like blocking and everything.
Yeah, they have the duel of the fates spot with the tonfas and the kendo sticks, and then Kato knocks the kendo stick out of Nate's hands, and then he goes to hit him with the tonfas, and then Nate catches them, and then he disarms the cat. It was just like that. I love cheesy, like cringy kind of wrestling bollocks like that. That's why I love late 2000s TNA. I love that sort of like crazy hard gimmick, and like a lot of this match was gimmick.
Yeah, there was a great. They ended up Nate ends up eventually sending Kato to the floor. He hits a flying knee off the apron. Start fighting on the floor. Then eventually Moondog Manson comes out because he's got a little thing with Nate here. They're not liking each other too much. He attacks Nate, and he doesn't stick around. He effed off. To let them continue to fight. So lots of weapons throughout here, but the weapon of the night. You want to tell us what the weapon of the night was?
Oh, okay, hold on. There were two for me. So the first one is the one that I think it is in your eyes. The second one was they kept breaking up this giant like traditional Asian fan, which I loved. And like there was a spot where Kato drops the fan on Nate, and then he does like an elbow or something for extra damage. And that was super fun. But the weapon of the night, my friend, was the 12-pound bag of rice.
Yes. Yeah. So
that
bag
that
of
weapon
rice.
got mileage.
And Kato whooped the shit. Like he just kept swinging it and hitting. They just kept taking this thing, just beat he like what from standing. Then he was smacking him on the ground with this bag of rice. It was crazy.
There was a spot like a bit later in the match where he's got Nate on the ground and he's going to go for a pin, but to make sure that Nate can't kick out, he puts the bag of rice over his legs. That was so awesome, but he kicks out at 2.5 anyway.
out. He just got the shoulder up. He didn't actually kick out though, because he couldn't kick.
Yeah, he just.
Yeah. So good. There was just this really nasty power slam, and I guess you can say it in more ways. One nasty power slam by Nate onto the open chair. Kato on
Yeah,
the
that looked rough, and it bent the legs perfectly straight out.
Yeah. There was a spot where they had a broken flat screen TV. He like put it in the corner. He went to run Nate into it, but Nate ended up running Kato into it. At the end of the match, he ended up piling the chairs and all the different weapons in one big pile with the TV on top. Gets Kato in the ropes, hits that running knee to the back of the head, and picks him up. Buck nasty onto the TV and the pile of weapons, and then pins Kato. 1, 2, 3. The student becomes the master. Yeah.
Ties a little bow on this feud. There's one spot you missed that I want to point out because it was my highlight of the match. So one of the weapons that we neglected to mention was this like really cool like traditional Asian umbrella.
This was
I'm
just
gonna
like
get it.
this was a dollar store umbrella, little mini.
But it definitely looked like they put like stickers or something on it to make it look traditional Asian.
They did.
And so like a few minutes before that finish, Kato's like, oh, I gotta do something, and he goes out and he breaks out his baby powder, and he puts it in his hand, and he gets back into the ring, and he's gonna throw the baby powder into Nate's face, and he throws it, and Nate opens the umbrella and blocks the baby powder, and then he does a little twirl. It was so awesome.
Oh, dude, that was I forgot about that. That was a great spot.
That was my favorite spot on the match. This it's not the best in work rate, but this was my match of the night because I love stupid weapon gimmicks. I love dumb street fights. It's funny is my favorite flavor of wrestling, and this hit all of my buttons. This was mwah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have come to the end of another episode of the Pop Spot. I want to thank y'all for joining us here and listening to all of us listening to us pop about all the spots we love from RCW Summer Heat. Before we go, I'm going to give you the table. Where can they find you, my friend?
All right. Well, they can find me at the Blue Sky at awscomedy.busky.social. You can find me on Busky. That's what I'm trying that now. That didn't work. I'm gonna say okay. We're gonna go back. You can find me on the Blue Sky at awscomedy.bluesky.social. That's better. You can find me at the Instagram at awscomedyeg. And if you want to hear me and a couple of my best friends nerd out about Power Rangers and other such wonderful TV shows about people, little teens in spandex fighting monsters, you can check out the Morphomania podcast on Humanoid Freaks YouTube channel. And I swear to God, we're gonna have new episodes out sometime soon. We have a backlog we're working through, but we're gonna start recording Lord Zed as soon as we can.
Ooh, I might have to return.
Yeah. Where can they find you, my friend?
They can find me on the X and Blue Sky at that Canada, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at that Canada dude. You can find me right here on Backbreaker Video doing this show with you, my friend. I always love doing this show, so you can check out more episodes coming up. We'll be reviewing next week. We'll have an episode about top talent. About top talent pro wrestling that we're going to on Friday. We'll be talking about that next week. And there's another RCW show on, I think, July 5th.
July 5th, yeah.
As long as everything works out, we should be there to cover that one. So lots of great wrestling coming up there. So you can check us out from that on Backbreaker Video. All the other content, all the watch-alongs for AEW, and all the other great wrestling content in the archives of Backbreaker Video. You can check that out at youtube.com/@Backbreaker Video. If you want to see Mike talk live with all his AEW watch-alongs, or even play some video games live in front of you, twitch.tv/MikeTheRef. And then you can replays of all that gaming content at youtube.com/@Backbreaker_gaming.
Can I get a pop for that?
You can also find me over at our local establishment on Sundays where I do the point of view with my boys, Bobby Munson, Mark Talks Wrestling, and once in a blue moon when he decided to show up, Old Ed. But you can find me and Old Ed on Wednesdays. So this show will come out on a Thursday. So yesterday we did an episode, our first of 2 episodes of Marvel Talk covering Ironheart. The first 3 episodes dropped on Tuesday. But we have if you're watching this in the future, we have reviewed that over there on our local. So I should go check that out, Marvel Talk over there. And then we'll be back the following Wednesday. I think it's the 2nd or something. Yeah, the 2nd of July. Another episode live on our local television for the final 3 episodes of Ironheart, and hopefully maybe our Empress of OLE, Peggy, will have returned by that point and should be able to come talk to us about the final 3 episodes. But I don't know, maybe not. But yeah, we'll be talking about all that over there on our local establishment. But we have come to the end of another episode of the Pop Spot, where we're popping about all the spots we love in professional wrestling. So again, I want to thank you, my friend, for joining us here.
Thank you very much, Andre. I want to thank you for hosting tonight. And it's been a great time. RCW was great. Top Talents next week. So this has been AWS and Andre C. And until next time, stay poppin'. Bye-bye.